Hey guys, it's Trail Skills. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about day 14 on the free-to-play account, how I've already managed legendary gear, unlocked Crimson Abyss, I've progressed so far in Rise of Heroes, and maximized everything I could potentially do with my account while still thinking ahead by several weeks. That way, when I get to a place, I'm not going to be roadblocked for too long to have great progression. My late game and mid game viewers, don't leave. Watch, make some comments down below. Tell me what you think and what you would have done. If there's anything different that you may have done, let me know. That way, we can build a healthier, stronger community. For those who are here and they are wondering why they can't do something, stick around. I'm going to show you how I progressed this account so quickly at the start of the server and give you some great tips that you will not get anywhere else. Also, just for you guys to know that, again, I skipped Emma and did not level her. She's overhyped. All right, guys, so the first thing I want to do is real fast head into take a look at who is the person that I'm evolving over Emma and why I skipped Emma again. You're going to see here, Riserris actually is a really good hero for early game, but also I already know I need her for a late game with Deesa Caves, which when I saw her banner coming up, when I had double chips event, I knew right then and there Emma was out and she was in. Without Riserris, I cannot push the EX 1, 2, and 3 stages when I get there. So I needed to get her. I also needed to evolve her because her impact is really at her EX20 stage, which therefore she has to be at least legendary. So we wanted to get her maxed out anyways, and I got lucky with several of my pulls. I got like 4 or 5 copies of her, plus I had a couple obviously gene hybrids put into her, which therefore we're going to bring her to Immortal right now. So here I am, I was at chapter 22:16, unable to clear it on auto. Probably do it through manual, but I'm going to run this on auto again after she became immortal. We'll see what that impact brings us. And you can see here, her job here is just to fear them and do damage. I have a copy of Bailey Hudson. I don't know many people at this point in time that's free to play that could have done something like that. But take a look at Bailey Hudson only at Elite 1 Crystal, hoping that Riserris here gets off another fear. And then hopefully she'll start cleaning them up right here. There it is. So that fear is so impactful. Any crowd control they can get, absolutely devastating to these enemies in campaign. Alright guys, back real fast here. Let's take a look at what the progression actually looks like. We did do Ancient Altar, and if you are new, you know that Ancient Altar goes from Sunday to Sunday. So you never want to do Ancient Altar until Sunday night, just before the reset timer. You know, that night your account will be the strongest that it is, so I won't touch this again until next Sunday. As you can see here, we unlocked Crimson Abyss, already able to clear the first stage, unable to do the second stage, but I should be able to in the next couple of days. You get some big XP, so do not overlook these first couple of stages. Once you get to stage 3, things gonna be a huge barrier and you start getting more summoners. I'm curious to find out where this barrier happens for early game. Take a look at the Lost Valley. As I was mentioning, already on stage level 12 for Deesa Caves, and the composition that I created was specifically around pushing Deesa Caves because the best gear in this game is here, and what I mean by that is the quickest way to get legendary gear is here. And a little bit later on, you're gonna notice that these EX stages will start to open up, and I expect to be done with 15 here. Stage 1, 2, and 3 are gonna start coming very quickly and easily, and all my champions, if I can complete these like I think I can, gonna get a big boost over other accounts on the same servers. Got Cinsaro Marsh. I could probably push this further, but stage 10 currently, which is great. I have unlocked the Mythic Commanders, which is the highest level you can get, which is exactly what we need to start progressing the account. And then I've already unlocked stage 9, again, able to get the epic prototypes, which is not the highest level that you can get in the game, but the mythic ones are extremely difficult and you have to spend money, or you have to do it in different events and get lucky, or push Twilight Lands. So basically, this is exactly where I need to be as free to play, and we'll keep progressing all the way up to stage 14. Not worried about 15 because the percent chance and probability is 20% at 14. If you go to 15, if you take a look again, 20%. So our goal is to get to 14 eventually, but we don't have the team or composition to do this dungeon very well. I am using the beginner tricks and things like that to progress it using Taylor and Senway and dumping them into the circle. And also, guys, I do have a Bailey Hudson, which is going to help drastically. And if I can, my goal, I'm hoping, we'll see, that this Easter event aligning with all this, I do want to try and push for my Rickert copy. If I can get Rickert, there's Rickert. So here's Rickert. If I can get to Rickert, which I'm going to try my hardest to do so on the free-to-play account. We have a lot of days to still do this. We have 16 days. I'm going to get tons of gems. This Rickert copy is going to be huge, and I will start pushing as hard as possible for that and to make sure we get him ready to go. Taking a look here into the rewards and stages, as we're flooding in all these diamonds, we do know that eventually this is going to slow down, and I do believe that's going to really start happening on this account any second now. You know, from day 7 to day 14, so really over the week 2, what I was looking for and for progression, I was hyper focusing on getting gear, getting levels, which means really focusing on Deesa caves. Now, there was a recruitment event for me in week 2, which I was able to get plenty of Taylor copies, which was very nice. And also on week 2 was the Emma banner. And there's a small overlap with the double chips from the Easter event with Emma. So what I did is I pulled 1 copy of Emma, which was the pity of 60 out of 60, but I pulled 20 more after that, hoping to get 1 more copy, which I did not, but I did get double chips. So what that did was not only did I get 80 recruitment limited cards, right? But I got 160 data chips from it. So that alone is allowing me to get additional copies in the future, which I saved because I knew that my triple or double chip event with the Riserris was coming right around the corner, week 3 with Crete. And I knew I was going to go hard on her because her progression with evolutions provides a little bit more, in my opinion, than what Emma can do for raw damage. There's crowd control. There's a boost to other hunters, which will indirectly help Emma out as I get her up slowly with hybrids. And we are going to really focus on this hunter synergy that is out there currently in the meta. So what else I focused on was Ancient Altar, doing the Easter events when I could, making sure that I leveled my heroes, but not using what's in my bag for resources. As you can see, my resources, I have not touched a single one yet for XP, the Rubelites, or these, chest packs, I'll call them, in gold, right? So I didn't touch any of these yet. You can see plenty of these piling up, ready to be used. And the reason is, if you saw my beginner guide, you want to push the story campaign as far as possible before you use these. And I'm thinking somewhere around 30 is when I'm going to start popping these. And I'm going to try doing that before the Summit Arena comes out. Summit Arena, I really want to get a big boost to my levels as much as possible. That way I can compete, see how we do on the very first week, and see if experience can beat some of these Krakens out there that have spent thousands of dollars already. And really hoping to place, if I get lucky, in the top 16, but really even in the top 64 would be quite impressive. So what I want to do now is just bring you in real fast to my Deesa composition and team that I used, the auto stage 11, which unfortunately bot mark at the mythic level is starting to become a problem with dying. So there's a few things I can do to mitigate that, but I also still need the damage for 12, so it's not working out perfectly yet. All right, guys, as you can see, we have started Deesa 11. This is my auto team right now. As you can see, bot mark is still only mythic, which is really slowing me down for progression for 12. And also you can see that I'm using Gautier here, and the real reason is to get a shield on my artists, and that is going to help me quite a bit. Using Soaring Medallion for my hunters to really do more damage, which is really just becoming between Taylor and Riserris, and we're going to clean this up with no problem whatsoever. We got Serena to support with the heals, and once we get these breakthrough points, we are looking mighty good. If I get him down through here, perfect. We are looking right on track, no problem. These slams are devastating. You're going to see in the top right corner, or in the middle of the screen, but on the right side of his list of abilities is the countdown to his slam. So in 3, 2, 1, he's got his slam coming in right now. Big damage, but we got the breakthrough point here where his shield's about to pop up when we hit 50% damage with him. And we're just going to rinse and repeat and watch the magic happen here, breaking down the shield with the multi-hits. And this is how you want to beat Deesa caves early on. You're going to need some heals. You don't have the damage output yet to one-shot these at the highest level, so you got to really work and strategically balance your team out on what it can do. You could do double healer if necessary. Serena's not strong enough to tank yet. She could be if I put some more exclusives into her, but I'm saving them for somebody else. And Artis and her together, though, is enough for 11, and I'm happy with that. We're going to get legendary gear here. And for 12, we should be able to get it here in a couple of days. As you can see, Riserris and Taylor are doing the majority of the damage, working together, breaking the shields, and that's it. Easy, easy, easy. Taradome, I'll show you quickly a little bit what I do. Again, using Gautier Commander, and we need to get everyone into the circle to help mitigate the damage from his, multi-hit that he has. And really what we're doing is dropping Senway's clone over here. Right, artist jumping through. You don't really need to do this on manual, but you do need the manual Taylor and Senway. That way, when Taylor is up, he can jump him in the circle, and this is where I start doing the majority of my damage. All right, so moving on, we got Cinsaro Marsh, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. Here, I'm just doing a pure damage speed race. My Reven is too low really to one-shot the Spiderlings, so really I'm just focusing on what level I can get to where my hunters can do work. You can see prototype changed here. Burnhide. Burnhide is great to do increased damage with the hunters to proc it with that multi-hit. So here we are, just trying to burn down the boss. Alright guys, here I am in Galactic Arena. I'm going to show you what I was doing earlier. I was messing around with some team compositions trying to work on 3 teams, but really what we want to do in Galactic Arena is work on 2 teams for offense and really focus on placing those 2 teams against the weakest teams possible. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So as we go in here, we'll pick on this person here. Okay, this is an absolute walkthrough. So we'll pick on this guy here. It's in Platinum. And I'm going to rework for 2 teams. The first team I'm going to use is using someone that can provide, Gautier with the Pain Rune. So really what I want to focus on right now is some displacement skills along with some good damage. So this is going to be my strongest team in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, which was a full clear button I could use. All right, so back to the first composition. Artists, Bailey, Crete, all have displacement abilities that's going to proc a shield from Gautier, and then when that shield expires, the Pain Rune is going to proc and provide a very short stun at this level, but still a stun and disruption. So what I need after that is someone to do some serious damage, and what we'll do is Senway and then Serena. Between this composition, I should be able to walk through the majority of definitely the lower end players. And then in this composition here, I'm going to really focus in on the hunters. I'm going to use Soaring Medallion here. And then just something that gives me a little more HP as the team composition goes on. So Taylor, Riserris, who's the main focus. I'm going to get a healer in here. And then we need frontline stun and CC. And then finally we'll wrap this up with Sorietta. And as you can see, this third team I'm going to have is going to be absolutely terrible. We'll just throw in whoever we want because they will end up losing, most likely. Okay, so we can see here, team 2, no problem. Team 1, no problem. Pretty sure that this account's not even a real account. I have a feeling that they put in some of these fake accounts early on. All right, so I'm going to skip this fight. I want to find a good fight here. All right, so now we're in Platinum. And really what I want to focus on is finding someone at equal level as my account. All right, so here we are. Found an opponent that, theoretically speaking, is an equal level to my own. And I can see really fast, if we take a look at the top of the screen where the blue and the red is power of the team composition. His third team has 209. Second team is 146. His first team is 243. He's got an interesting setup for sure. And I'm not quite, he's got a Hagridon here. Only double Vanguard though, but he does have the Assassins for shielding. Does not have Pain Rune, so he's not going to proc much, but he's going to penetrate the back line pretty easily. So what I'm going to do is put my strongest team versus his second strongest team, and then my second strongest team against his third, right? And that's clearly by my screen 363, 336, and then 128. So we know my team 2 should go against his team 3. Okay. So his team 3 is his middle team right here. So this is actually lined up perfectly. His first team is 243. His last team is 209. I could actually pick either one of these because I'll absolutely destroy either one. So we'll just keep it the way that it is. And we'll just let this play out with 2 times speed real fast so you guys can see how this works. See that I've already got Bailey in the back line, and his job is just to use displacement, get a shield, and provide stuns, and also get people to focus on him. And Senway's just going to do the cleanup of the majority of the damage. Once we get through his Oak with immunity, he's going to go down really fast. And there we go. First team is down, easy as can be. Going to the next team here. Again, Riserris is going to do the majority of the work, and we just need the tank, get a stun off, and Oisa, where's your stun? He's just too easy still, even at the same level. With the right composition, you can do this too. All right, so we'll skip third fight, and I'm curious to see, did I even win the third fight? And I did not. So that's why you pick the order that we did, that we can easily progress. Let's see who we get again. I'll buy one more refresh if it's not too expensive. So we're at 50. Let's see here. Okay, here we are. His level's 119. Again, I got a superior advantage just from that alone. There's no one here that's even a threat. Now we're in Diamond. This is where the competition should get a little more difficult. All right, so here we are, finally an opponent that's worth our time and energy. He has a 20 level lead per hero. He has a 20 level lead per hero, and he's got a 217, 399, and a 469. His second team is technically stronger than my strongest team, and his last team is way stronger than my last team, okay? So we're taking a look here. And Luke is someone that you don't want to really underestimate at this level because he does put that defensive down on people. This first team here, I could easily beat this. Serena may provide some healing challenge. And then his third team is really easy. So what I'm going to do is swap around and put my third team last. I'm sorry, my second best team against his third. And then I really want to find out who is going to be easier to take down with my team here. All right. So what I'm seeing and thinking is I want to move around my first team and my second team here. So I want to focus on Senway, Taylor, Luke, Artis, and Ravenna. My goal here is hopefully getting the majority of the back line, attacking Bailey, and hopefully Crete will get in there eventually and get some defensive down. And hopefully Senway can come in and start doing all the damage I need. And it's going to be an interesting fight. We have to watch the first fight where he should just push right through my team and kill all of my team here, which he does. Based on what he has. So here I have Bailey in the back line right now. Taylor's focusing on Artis, which I was hoping he wouldn't do. Here's Senway's clone coming out, which is great. Artis is jumping through. Finally getting my Crete to get his ultimate off. Bailey getting ultimate off. Getting those shields on. This is where we should start proccing some stuns for disruption. There they are. Here I go, pushing through his back line. You can't do too much to stop me at this point. This is pretty much an easy win. Third fight, this shouldn't be much of a challenge here as well. I should be able to push right through pretty fast with Riserris' damage and Taylor's. And there we go, walking right through and landing a stun with the Oisa. Soriata getting off a nice little pushback right here. And this is all done simple. All right. So there we go. That's how you kind of push through with Galactic Arena early game. And as you can see, he's got a good account. He's got 3 Immortaled already. Sorietta, Senway, Artis. It looks like he was really working on his Emma, which is at legendary level. He did spend some money, or at least pull on that Luke banner to get a copy. And I can see that he put another copy of Ravenna. So he definitely was pulling a little bit earlier on. And I focused later on for pulling, which is why my Riserris is already immortal. And I do have what I consider a stronger account than this person. So with this account and the progression that I was getting, I just want to talk about one thing real fast, which when you are playing this game, you have to think for yourself. Not one content creator can predict who is going to show up in week 3 banner unless a hero comes out and it aligns with your server progression. So under exchange, I have a Bailey Hudson copy here. This is extremely rare so far with the release. And normally the only way you can get him is during a recruitment event. You spend a lot of money, or you hinder your account by saving a ton of advancement cards and limited cards and waiting weeks to get a copy. So instantly when I got my first 120 chips, I took Bailey Hudson because I knew this opportunity may not exist ever again, at least for months at a time, before I could get him. So he may sit at elite level for a while in my account until I start getting the gene hybrids that I need to level him up, but he is there and ready to go whenever I need him. Also, with the Crete banner and Riserris, and Crete is a good hero, and I don't want him to be overlooked by any means. Since I do not have a Northeon or a Leo, I'm going to need somebody to play that frontline hero. And then next on that list is this guy right here. So what I did is the first pulls I did this week for week 3, I did 59 out of 60 for Riserris. I swapped over the Crete banner, which then his says 59 out of 60, and I hit recruit only 1 time. And that got me a guaranteed pity for Crete, because I knew I had at least 60 more tickets after that to get a pity for Riserris. And with all the limited cards popping in from Rise of Heroes, from Ancient Altar, from the Easter event, I was starting to compound a lot of limited cards, which I just keep using once I get 10 or more to do a 10 pull for Riserris, which has gotten me all these copies. And that is the strategy I went with, which gave me plenty of data chips again to get these gene hybrids, which is a free copy of any hero you want basically. And there's 2 of them available. Make sure you maximize everything you're doing, guys. It's extremely important. One last thing, class technology. As a new player in the game, obviously take a look at who your carry is. But in my case, I'm so focused on hunters that I'm bringing the attack percent as high as possible, as quickly as possible. And that was my first focus. And eventually, you're going to start focusing on different strategies and compositions for synergy in the game. And that's how you're going to plug these points in. There is no do this first or second. It depends on who your heroes are. And in my case, with the Riserris being my carry and Deesa Cave is such a big focus for me, Hunters was clearly the most logical place to do it. Ancient Altar has some of the best early game rewards you can get. And there's milestones, right? There's achievements, and there's records, and there's obviously these different challenge rewards. Next week, we're going to spend a little more time about how you can maximize what you get out of here, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next one.